So we have a little something extra, which we are on right now. But Fionn Productions also has their own show as well, and that is The Happiness Project, correct?
Indeed,
yes.
So not only are we doing our show on the podcast today, but we are also going to feature your show on the podcast today as well. So before we jump into really getting into your show, can you tell us a little bit about The Happiness Project?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so Fionn, how far back do we have to go to tell the story? I suppose when you were a teenager.
Yes, when I was a teenager, yeah.
Because like all teenagers, well, most of them anyway, your father was asking you, well, what do you want to be when you grow up anyway?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Right.
And do you remember your first answer when I asked you, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Yes, I do remember. I said that I wanted to be the next David Attenborough.
The next David Attenborough?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know who he is?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Planet Earth and the narrations, everything like
That's
that.
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the
BBC.
guy. Yeah.
So this
Love
wonderful,
David Attenborough.
Fionn just loves animals, and he loves. He wanted to travel the world and learn about wildlife, and I thought, well, that's ridiculous. Like that's not going to happen. Like my critical side, right, initially said that's not very realistic, and then I had to think about it, and I realized, but what is he saying? He's saying that he wants to do something like that. And
Right.
we can travel the world. We can save our pennies and go, one trip a year, whatever it is. And you can learn filmmaking and all of this. And so, we had a path. And I thought, I want to help Fionn on that path. And then I thought, but I better double check because teenagers change their minds a lot. We all
Right.
know. So I asked you the following week, what do you want to be when you grow up, Fionn? And you said,
That I want to be an accomplished musician.
Oh,
which is
musician.
another great goal.
And I think you're
Totally.
already there.
Just a very different goal from the first
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
So I asked the third
Yeah.
time a week later, and you said,
I said that I wanted to be a member of One Direction.
oh.
that one,
You
was,
Well,
replace Harry.
that one
yes.
was a little harder to visualize how I could get him into a boy band. But I think the point was that Fionn had a lot of different ideas, and that's very typical for teenagers. So why not explore them? And what better way than to meet people who are successful doing these different things in life, and to ask them a question, to interview them. And so over time we began, I'm jumping ahead quite a bit, but we started asking professional musicians and filmmakers and all kinds of people in other walks of life you didn't even think of. Politics, for instance, authors. And I asked Fionn, could you come up with one simple question that you could do the interviewing this way? And what was the question you came up with?
What do you love about your life?
What do you love about your life?
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the best question that you can ask someone to really be able to get a gauge of who they are without necessarily having to dive too deep into their background first. It paints the picture of who that person is. It's a beautiful question.
Yep. Fionn has asked so many famous people that question who get interviewed all the time, and a lot of them say,
Oh boy.
no one's ever asked me that.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a wonderful question.
I mean, you've interviewed some. I mean, just to name a few. I mean, you've interviewed Arthur Shelby himself, Cillian Murphy, which is awesome. I mean, Will Poulter is another big actor that I saw on there. Marissa Tomei, who is seriously one of my favorite actresses ever. My Cousin Vinny is like one of my favorite movies. And then even the founder of Special Olympics too, with Tim Schreiber.
Yeah.
I saw he was on there as well, and a ton more. Didn't you say you also interviewed Coolio on
That's
there
right,
as well?
yeah.
That one I missed, but that's fantastic too.
When Fionn interviewed a rap group from a previous generation, they're the Sugar Hill Gang.
You interviewed the Sugar Hill Gang too?
I did,
mean,
yeah.
You've done over 600 interviews. It was tough to
That's
be able to try to get through all of them. But the Sugar Hill Gang.
The Sugar Hill Gang, when Fionn interviewed them, they later, when they were doing their concert, invited him up on stage to perform Rapper's Delight with them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they gave you a microphone. And
That's right.
and how many of the words did you know?
None.
No, none of the words to Rapper's Delight?
But he faked
That's-
it really
so what?
well.
I would too.
That's
Oh, yeah.
hilarious. Oh my gosh.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So what'd you end up doing then when you went up there?
I ended of doing faking it with style, but I got
Faking it with style, not just faking
Faked
it.
it with style. That's the key. If you're gonna sell it, you got to sell it with
That's
style.
right.
The audience, they were so good natured.
Hilarious.
Everyone was laughing so hard.
Oh, I'm sure.
But, I mean, we were all laughing. You know, you can't say with, but
Yes.
not at. You
Yeah.
know, but just
Yeah, just at the whole situation
That's what,
and
that's what
everything.
all of us would have done. Just
Hilarious.
I mean,
fake it till you
seriously.
make it. Fake it till you
also
make
so-
it.
Yeah, I was
so
doing a bit of
proud
this.
that he
Oh, yeah.
could- that
Oh,
he could
yeah.
just be
Oh,
there.
yeah.
He wasn't nervous. He was just
No, he just
doing
went up there
his
with his
thing.
free self.
It was
Yep.
hilarious.
I mean, and seriously, how many 26-year-olds are gonna know all the words to Rapper's Delight? Aside from me, because I do know all the words to Rapper's Delight.
Why don't you
But
give us
I'm
some,
an
Franco?
old soul. Give you some
Yeah.
Rapper's Delight.
Yeah.
I said a hip hop, a hippie to the hip hop, and you don't stop the rockin' to the bang bang, booty the up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to be.
All right.
But
We're a karaoke family, so I,
I
bet
was
he
gonna
could do that whole
say-
song.
Up there.
Hotel, motel, holiday
Holiday
Inn.
Inn. There you go. See, you got some of it down.
That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's tough. If you're gonna get thrown up there, might as well just be your true self and then just throw it out there. So I love the fact that you just went up there with style,
Yeah.
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
That's the move.
What's crazy about what we've found is going to all of these famous folk whose time is, you know, they say no
Typically
a lot,
in a hurry.
right?
Yeah,
they
they're
have
jumping
to
around.
say no a lot, and Fionn gets yeses all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's something about, you know, your charm and your good looks and your handsome father, but but it also is Down syndrome. Like
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
something that's what we find in so many areas of life, that people really are interested in people with Down syndrome, and so there's this sort of I don't know if you can call it an anti-prejudice or a reverse prejudice or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
but have you found that as well? Is that
And
something
a little
that
bit of
goes on?
Yeah, I think it kind of goes both ways. There's a people that extremes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
Total
a big
extremes.
piece too is the fact that I feel like one of the hard parts about individuals with Down syndrome just being interacted with more and just being able to just create more friends and in relationships is the fact that if you aren't necessarily connected to someone with Down syndrome, you don't know how to approach someone with Down syndrome.
Right.
And in the case of
And that's just that acceptance
Yeah, in
through
the case of
understanding.
Fionn,
We're trying to
he-
make people take away that fear because
Exactly.
there's either they're interested and want to be in, or they're afraid because they don't know enough and they don't want to do something wrong.
Yeah.
They don't want to be wrong and say the wrong thing. They're more afraid of that. I don't think they're afraid of them. They're afraid of saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing or acting the wrong way.
Yeah.
And then understand that just we're here. They're here to teach and love just like everybody else.
So your interviews invite people in. I
Yes.
think that's one of the
They
most
do,
important
yeah.
things.
And I
It's
think
really-
Fionn is also super. I mean, the way that right when you walked in, when we first met today, you're just super approachable and engaging, and the fact that you're also really like you're a curious soul, and I think that's
Yeah.
why you ask so many of those questions. So I think that it just pulls people in because they can tell that you're really just like yearning for that knowledge of who they are, and just trying to broaden your own perspectives as well and learn what they love about their life, right?
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
So that is what happens now is the asking of the question, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
So
sir.
so let's hear it.
Okay. So we're starting with you.
Yes. Oh, jeez. This is very official. I'm scared. You're scaring me. Okay.
Okay. Well, first of all, you look very glamorous.
Oh, well, thank you.
So, Nancy, what do you love about your life?
Wow. What do I love about my life?
Me, of course.
Well, of course. Yes. Yes. Just about everything, especially my kids and my family. I think that is my biggest piece. And of course, Gigi being one of them.
Yeah.
But also the fact that our whole family is invested in people with Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And that we get to live with someone with
Yeah.
Down syndrome. We get to serve families of
Yeah.
people with Down syndrome. And I think that's probably the biggest what makes me happy. And I think actually it's the outcomes. It's when I'm leaving, like the last couple nights as I'm leaving, I'm watching people walk in the parking lot all happy after a literacy session or a fitness program. And I'm like, I just say thank you to God. I just feel so blessed that the impacts continue to happen and that I get to be a part of it.
Wow, that is so awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, great answer.
Yes. Now to you, beautiful Gigi.
Oh.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. What do you love about your life?
I love spending time with my family because sorry, I love my family because we always do something, and then they love me, and I'm happy that I am part of the family.
Yes.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Wonderful.
Good answer.
Nice one.
Thank you.
Okay, so to you, sharp-looking, handsome Franco.
Oh, well, thank you, Fionn.
You're
So
very
generous of you.
Yes. So, Franco, what do you love about your life, brother?
All right, brother. What do I love about my life? I think the thing that I love most about my life is the opportunities that I've had to create incredible relationships with people. Between my family, who I'm lucky enough to have probably the best relationship you can as a son or a son or a brother with your family. It could not be any better, and I definitely thank Gigi a lot for that. But then I also think about the friends that I have in my life, and I really value all those friendships that have been really lifelong, and just the fact that you can share so much of life together with people, and you can spread your passions, and they can spread their passions to you. So I really value that. And then I really love the relationships I've been able to create through Gigi's Playhouse, and through being an advocate. I think that all of the best people that I've ever met in my life are all advocates of something, and especially an advocate of people with disabilities and just equality and acceptance.
Yeah.
And I mean, every day I get to meet someone new, just like you guys that are changing the world, and being able to hear their stories, helping, share their stories, and then also learning from their stories in ways that I can then go on and change the world is probably my favorite thing that I love about life. Is my favorite thing about life that I love the most.
Wow, that is so rocking awesome. Thank you so very much. So very much, Franco.
Well, thank you for asking me the question, and thank you for being here.
Nancy, you
Yeah.
must be
Yeah,
proud
go
of
for
your
it.
children.
Oh, I know. And again, what I have to say is, I would be. It would be amazing if I could say I did this. They are who they are because of Gigi.
Very good.
She has taught us all lessons. She continues to teach us lessons. She continues to keep us together. She continues to keep us bonded. She continues to keep us humble. She continues to keep us honest. And she just continues to teach us. And I think that's the glue. She's our glue that holds everybody together. And that makes us just see the world in a different way, in a beautiful way. And I would love it if it was me, but it's all her.
Yep, you are a real powerhouse, Gigi. I love you for that.
Thank you.
I love it.
And I think you are too, sir.
Yes.
That's for sure. You are quite the powerhouse.
Well,
You are.
before we sign off,